Hello and good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're tuning in from, whenever you tune in. Welcome to Lady Lighthouse. Let's see if this works. I don't know. Just like my like my title said, got a new computer, and so I've been trying to get everything set up and transferred over onto it so I could continue streaming. But yeah, OBS has crashed on me twice this morning. So, we'll see what happens. I think I got the settings re-added, but I don't know. I have no idea. I'm like, I don't even know. Yeah. I don't know. We're just gonna try it. We'll see what happens. And I'll just appreciate everyone's patience today. Alright, well, with that said, that's been my fun this morning, is trying to get that all adjusted. So if you are listening and the background music feels really loud, do let me know, because I tried to check the stream on my phone, and it seemed like it was okay, but me and technology, we have quite the relationship, let me tell you. Good times. I'm having a blast. Okay, that said, let's get started with what my regularly scheduled programming. And that actually means I'm going to go crack my window real quick. All right. So what I typically do on Mondays, and what I was planning to do at least at the start of the stream, is do my main collective Reiki share. So this is, I guess I can adjust this a little bit. So this is anyone who's submitted a distant healing request or a distant Reiki request on my website. I go through the list and send distant Reiki to the group of individuals. And so today we have 3 on the list. I will go ahead, we'll get started here in just a second, but it'll be basically an opening prayer, and just bringing through, or like sharing my practice of distant Reiki with them. So you can watch, you can observe, you can lurk if you'd like, or not. You can come back in a little bit. But I will drop the command in chat, so if you are feeling called, or if you or a loved one could potentially need some distant Reiki or use some distant Reiki, feel free to submit a request. I send these throughout the course of 2 weeks as I feel called and as it feels like in alignment. But they're good. Everything, yeah. Different things come through each time. So, good morning, Janine Lily. Good to see you. I guess it could be evening or afternoon where you are. Good day to you. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I got my list over here. Actually, before I do, are you able to, does everything look all right on your side, Janine Lily? Like, does the video sound, all that seem good on your side? It's been a few days. That's okay. Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I just got my names in front of me. So again, this is the distant Reiki for the individuals that submitted a request, but you can stick around, observe, lurk, whatever you want, and then we'll see what we jump into afterwards. Divine Source, Infinite Creator, call upon you now to bring forth whatever's in the highest and best for Achal, Prachi, and Sarita. Call upon my team, Achal's team, Prachi's team, and Sarita's team of angels, spirits, and guides to bring forth whatever is in their highest and best. Thank you for your time, energy, and gifts. I ground myself in. I open my Reiki eye. I'm also going to actually stand up for this one, it feels like. Okay. Just taking a few deep breaths here. Just connecting to these three individuals, wherever they are in the world. Beginning just with some circular hand motions under the desk. But really the imagery I get in doing this is almost like their whole bodies are like lined up, and I'm underneath like their feet and helping pull down the energy that no longer serves them, sending it into the earth, helping ground out any dense energy that's ready to be released. And dense doesn't necessarily mean bad, it's just dense. No judgment. So we're just pulling that energy down. Feeling myself come to a balance, come to a stillness. There's a lot of energy moving through my right arm. And the reason I say that is I can feel like a tension or a stinging kind of through my bicep and through my wrist. Trying to find a sway here. Or just allowing, it feels almost like the energy is like pumping. It's just like a slow, like one of those billows that you blow into like a fireplace. Just a slow do-do-do. Feeling the density leave, feeling their energy bodies lighten, clear, pure positive energy. allowing myself to be a clear channel for the flow of Reiki. Sending it down through my legs, through my feet, into the ground. To be composted. Connecting like a tree. Pulling it in, sending it down, pulling it in, sending it down. It's interesting. I sometimes will get seemingly random smells or scents will come through. My channel's open, and I just got this one that was very floral scent. Yeah, it was just like it was a very grandmotherly, like floral, like potpourri in the bathroom type of scent and like imagery. Just allowing myself to be a channel, stay anchored here. It's again the sensation in my right arm, the energy kind of pouring in through my crown and out my right arm is strong. It's not uncomfortable, but it's definitely intense, I'll say. Yawning's a good sign. Yawning's a good sign. It's allowing that energy to leave, allowing myself to get more oxygen, more air. Every now and again, I'll test the waters with my hands just to see if they're wanting to move anywhere else. But now I'm really just being called to stand still with my hands kind of like about this distant, but at my like waist, upper level with my waist. Sending the Reiki out. Finding that sway again. Feeling my hands come in. And they're coming into like this. Here we go. There you go. To that, but it's like that position, like a double cup position with just my middle finger and my ring finger touching. but right around the area between my root chakra and my sacral. And if you're a womb holding body or individual, this area is your connection to Source, or one of your main connections to Source. It's where you create life from, where creation comes from, is that womb space. And often for me, when I'm doing Reiki, we'll connect to this womb space. So we're bringing through the Reiki through the crown, down all the way into the womb space and out. And anything that no longer serves, coming in this similar area and going right down my legs, right down into Mother Earth to be composted. It almost acts like it's a portal, and also a shorter circuit for the energy to flow down into the ground, instead of having to go through the entire body. It can just come in right there and go right down the legs. It's also partially why, if you're someone that has a lot of hip problems or womb issues, whether it be like endometriosis, PCOS, those kind of things, you might be storing some old dense energy, some trauma in your hips, in your womb space, not allowing that energy to flow through. One of the ways to help it flow, and I'm kind of feeling myself called to do right now, is moving your hips. Whether it be standing hip circles, little slow, like hip grinds, going in both directions. Maybe you kind of sway back and forth and make the infinity symbol, the Lemnisca. But just getting your hips moving, getting that stagnant energy moving, sending it down your legs. Connecting to your source. Shaking out the energy out of my arms, helping clear it. Sending it down. Just allowing it to be cleared, allowing it to go into the violet flame. Sending it down. If they're listening, or if they come out, or if they come and watch this recording, inviting them to take a deep breath. there's a lot of tension in this right arm. So we're just allowing that to move, allowing it to shake out. We're just letting my arm shake however it wants to shake. And right now it's just kind of like a very heavy, like, send that energy down, send it out. And just allowing the skin, the muscles, the fascia, the blood vessel, all the things just kind of bounce around, you know? Don't need this. Let it go. Let the fresh air in, let the fresh light in. Even though the sun isn't, or like the sun's behind the clouds where I am, I'm still like connecting with the light coming through the window, coming through the windows, coming through my sun catchers. Just allowing that light to pour in, the physical light, not just our like energetic connection to Reiki, but the physical light, the physical sun. And allowing that to support us in this space today. One good shakeout. All right. That feels pretty good. Whew. Just kind of check it in to see where we're at. Okay. Getting the signal that that's enough for today for everyone that's submitted the request. So we're just going to do some final aura smoothing here. So you're whole. You are complete. You are love. You are light. You are whole. You are complete. I send you and your loved ones, your community, your country, and your world so much love and light. Thank you for showing up here today. Thank you for your time, your energy, and your gifts. I send all of your energy back to you now, or back to the original sender. And call all of my energy back to me. And blast out whatever remains to be composted to whatever serves the highest and best by Mother Earth. Namaste. All right. Cool. I like it. I'm here for it. Let me... Oh. The male person just got here. Hold on. Let me see if my dogs might bark. Okay, we're good now. All right, let me. Where did my thingamabob go? Okay, my play with streamers thing is, or so I have a cue, is nowhere to be found. Hold, please. Yeah, it says it's still. It exists, but I don't know. Let's try this. Let's just see what happens. Okay. It says it's there. All right, I'll use this as an opportunity to run to the restroom, and I'll be right back, actually. All right, I'm back. And actually, I am feeling like I'm going to talk a little bit about, waking up. Yeah, I just feel like there's some energy this week. There's some stuff in the air, basically, about kind of ascension symptoms, and or about just like what you might experience when you're starting to wake up to your gifts, wake up to who you are, wake up to spirit/source, all the things. Hello again. And I feel like, I feel like I should talk some more about it. So, like I said, I welcome lurking. I'm glad you were lurking. Glad you got to just kind of be in the space and enjoy kind of the energy flowing through. But let me just see how this wants to come through for a second. Honestly, I think I'm just going to share a little story, because whenever I was starting to wake up to my gifts, and wake up to just like owning who I was, and owning, now being here on Twitch streaming as a psychic channeler and Reiki master, I didn't just like wake up and be like, yeah, that sounds good. I mean, I eventually did, but when I first started, I was like, this was not in my cards for, this was not on my bingo card for what I thought I was going to do with my life. And it's just like, as I had started to tap into my intuition, and I had taken an intuition development course by someone who I had gone to like one or two like healing like circle events with, and I felt a lot of validity and trust in everything that she was doing, and so I was like, okay, I'll go, I'll sign up for this course. Like, I was feeling really interested in it, and so I did that course, and I actually ended up going on and doing like the like individual coaching afterwards. So it was like, originally it's like group stuff where you learn about your spirit team and everything else, and you learn about the different type of clairs and gifts, and you practice together, and all that good stuff. Like, it was great. But as I was waking up to my own gifts, I was like, I kept receiving these messages of like, like, you're super powerful, or you're this powerful witch, or like, and I was having these like wild ass experiences in meditations and my dreams, and then I got to the point where, well, hold on. Yeah, or it was like, I'd see different things, and I'd hear different things, and I could feel it in my body, where it was like, I could tell that was a message that was trying to like come through to me. And one of which I'll share, but I will preface by saying I don't subscribe by this label, so don't mishear me when I say this. But one of the messages I was receiving during my like waking up period of over a couple months was that I was the Messiah. And I laugh at that because, one, I have a little bit of a religious background, but I leaned more on my husband to tell me exactly like what that would have meant. And I love that the synchronicity is coming through, Janine, where you were just about to ask me how I got started. Yeah, it was basically this. So it was like, I had gone through a ton of different healing. I really learned to connect with my mind and my body. body specifically, I was using like S factor movement, and then which is more like somatic movement. So I did a lot of dance classes. I did a lot of pole dancing, burlesque, S factor, like those different types of things. And then that allowed me to start to connect with, you know, my internal spirit, which then allowed me to go on to connect with my intuition and develop my intuition. And really my intuition has just been guiding me ever since. But yeah, like I was saying, I was getting the message that I was the Messiah, and I was like, this is crazy. What, like, who am I to stake that claim? And then even when I went through my like Kundalini awakening last year, I got the same message then too. It was like, you are the Messiah, and it was like an angel came down and all of these things. And I remember I was super like tripped out where I was like, what is happening? And it was like, this is your mission. Like, this is your purpose. And I told a couple people about it, and rightfully so. They were concerned for my mental health. Like, I get it. Having not been in this space or not really explored their own intuition, they took it as, you know, I'm psychotic or going through like psychosis or whatever. But gratefully, I was working with my coach at the time, and also I knew what I was going through. I had been guided to research what it looked like to be like a spiritual awakening versus a Kundalini awakening, and like kind of the differences. So I had an idea of what I was going through. It was just trying to make sure I had the tools to navigate them was complicated, or maybe not complicated, but it, like, you know, took some time. Definitely required a decent amount of grounding. And I do have an older brother who is a paramedic and also going to nursing school and all the things, or like a flight paramedic. And so he called and did like a wellness check on me because I was living alone at the time. And they were like, I'll come back to that in just a second. But he did a wellness check on me, and I'm like, I know what I'm going through. I'm good. I understand. I'm getting the message that I'm the Messiah, but I know, like, give me a few days. Like, I'm all right. I'm not going to hurt anyone. I'm not trying to start a cult. I'm not trying to, you know, I'm not a danger to anyone or myself. Just like, give me a minute. Like, I know what I'm going through. And, you know, he eventually calmed down. He's like, okay, you're fine. Or like, I convinced him enough that he let it go or dropped it. But yeah, a lot of people in my life did not know or did not understand. But to answer your question of if I experienced any physical symptoms during my like Kundalini awakening, yes. Yes. The day it like kicked off, hold on. It's like the day it kicked off for me, I barely ate because I felt like I needed to just like keep writing, and writing kept me in like a meditative state to keep receiving. But I had a lot of pain on my back, and it felt like it was just like down my entire back. And it felt like, I mean, the message I was getting at the time was like they were repairing something that had been like torn. And so like that's what it felt like. It was like I felt like I was getting like energetic surgery of being performed on my back muscles. That was the main thing I felt for the most part. But then, like, mentally speaking, I was so floaty. My brain was just like, like, it just felt like I was very buzzing. And there was a period, so I had the day that I was going through the awakening. I didn't talk to anyone the day that it was like actually happening. And then that night when I finally got to go to sleep, I ended up waking up in the night and I was like kind of having like that vertigo, dizzy feeling. I think I got nauseous a little bit, which I think I was glad that I didn't eat a ton in guidance of not being told to eat a ton because of all of the energy that was happening. It was just I was like, the room was spinning at times, or it felt like it was spinning at times. So yeah, there was some nausea in there. There was some definitely some fatigue, definitely very brain buzzy. The back was probably the most painful for me, as like I said, as I was waking up. You said, I'm so glad you listened to your inner voice and decided to take on this journey. People would be so proud of how far you come. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate that a lot. Mm. That hits home because to share even more vulnerably, I had my wedding anniversary this weekend and we renewed our vows, but in doing so, like, we invited a bunch of people and none of my biological family showed. We had some friends show and we had my in-laws showed. But I don't know. So your message of people around me being proud, I'm like, thanks. You've heard some crazy stuff about people experiencing jaw or neck locks during their Kundalini awakening. Yeah, I know it's I know it can be intense if you're not ready for it. I also knew, like, I had a sense about 3 months before it happened that it was coming. I had been feeling it was coming. I was like, I knew an awakening of sorts was coming. I didn't know exactly it was a Kundalini awakening at the time, but like, I knew an awakening was coming. I knew it was important for it not to happen until like the right time. Like, if you try to force it, it'll probably end up being even more painful, because your body is just like, how do I want to put it? It's like it's a very big influx of energy. And so if it comes, I'd say too soon, but if it comes at a time that you haven't like worked through everything and are ready to, and it's not even everything, but if you're not to a point where you're ready to like surrender to the, like surrender to the energy coming in, surrendering to your intuition, surrendering to guidance, it will probably be more resistant and more, I want to say dirty, but it's like more grimy. I don't know if that's a good analogy or not. Oh, welcome to the chat, invisible audience. Good to see you again. We'll jump to you here shortly. But yeah, it's the making sure that you have people around you that you can turn to when you're going through something like that is huge. I was so grateful I had my like spiritual coach to help guide me through it, and also, and that was actually where these like boundary books came out of, really, was the fact that the awakening basically just like blasts you open to all of the things. And mind you, Like that first like 36 hours was definitely the wildest time of my life, let me tell you. And I didn't harm anyone. I didn't harm myself. I didn't go and do anything that would cause harm. But I definitely was like, yeah, sure, I'm hearing this voice. Let me go do that. Like, and it was really just like, yeah, it was like my spiritual coach's higher self had come to me and was like, meet me here. And I was like, what? Okay. And then, like, nothing. She wasn't there. I ended up texting her, or like I was like voice memo chatting with her about it. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, that happened to me too. Or like similar things happened where it's just like you get blasted open and then all of a sudden it's like, I'm in surrender. I'm just going to go with the flow. Like, yeah, I should go do this. And it's like, okay, hold on. Like, and everyone, like, time out, and that's where everyone starts to and has to learn the lesson for themselves. Like, I can tell you need to learn discernment, but you're not going to learn discernment or not truly know discernment until, like, you experience the funny, random, goofy shit. Like, and that's where I ended up bringing starting that boundary book was just so I could put boundaries on my channel, so that I made sure during that period of time when I was going through my awakening, and even now, but like it was super important during the awakening period, so that way I knew I was only talking to my higher self and source, and I didn't have anyone else coming in. I was like, no one else is allowed through right now. I need a few weeks of just me and source and higher self time to figure out like what this is, what this means for me. So and the other thing too there is like the boundary books were, do I want to share that? Yeah, the like setting boundaries was my spiritual coach's like idea was, and she shared that too. It was just like, yeah, put boundaries on your channel. And I was like, I didn't know you could do that. And now here I am. I'm like, that's a great idea. Like, let's here, books, boundary books. Yeah. But anyways, before I do any readings, are there any other like questions you might have about the Kundalini awakening? I know I also have some other resources, I think, on my website, like that quiz, the quiz that's on my website of like, where do you need more love? Depending on where you score, there is a prompt for, if you haven't already had one, a Kundalini awakening might be near, and has some links. And I think the links out to one of the blog posts I wrote about meeting the universal consciousness. And then I think probably some of the meditations and stuff too, where it's just like, oh, it's so important to ground. And you'll read everywhere how important it is to ground. And also, once you're in it, you're like, I can't freaking ground. And so I remember myself like going outside, like it was the middle of freaking winter, and so I'm outside barefoot with a blanket on in the like frosty grass, like, I am grounding. I'm like, I'm sending my energy down. I am grounding. I'm connected to earth. Like, I am just like, yeah, I get that people probably, if there are neighbors looking, they're like, what the fuck is she doing? But it helped. So yeah, we all go through our own journeys on it. We all experience what we're meant to experience. It's just know that I am a resource, and if you are about to go through one, or if you do go through one, please remember, I am a resource. So you said, how much has life changed since my Kundalini awakening? so much. So much. I feel like I am a different woman. So much so that, I mean, I changed my first name legally because I was like, like my old name, my birth name that I was given just like does not, like, I don't like being called it anymore. Like, it doesn't resonate. It feels like a dead version of myself. I still honor it. Like, I'm learning to honor and integrate that part of me because it was a part of my journey. But like, I legally changed my first name, my like job, career, everything has shifted since then. Because like I said, up until that point, I didn't quite know that I was going to be a psychic channeler. Up until that point, I was doing a lot of like life coaching and hold on. I was doing a lot of life coaching and like movement instruction. And it wasn't until after my awakening that I was like, oh, no, like I actually have these other gifts that I'm meant to do or use. And really it's just kind of unfolded naturally since then, where I finally decided to step into, or like Spirit was like, you're a psychic channeler. And I was like, okay, I don't know what that means. At least in the beginning, I didn't know what that meant. But sure, I haven't heard that one. I haven't seen that one around. And then more recently, I completed my Reiki mastery certification. And so now it's just like, it's all coming together. It's all culminating into some beautiful offering that has yet to be fully realized. But I also like, I have the sense of what it is, or I have a sense of the bigness of it. And I've had a sense for a while of the bigness of it. It's just, you know, riding that wave, riding that current, going with the flow and seeing how it unfolds. But oh yeah, it's gonna be big. But it's also so cool, and I'm so grateful, and I'm so excited. My relationship completely changed, or like my relationship with my husband completely changed, like for the better. That's why we renewed our vows this year, was just because it was just like, we're two totally different people now from when we got married. Like, do I have anything more to say about that? No, I think that's good. Yeah, thanks for listening about to all of that. That was good. All right, let me. You activated your Kundalini in 2023 and went insane. You're welcome, Janine. By insane, what do you mean? If you're open to sharing. Like, well, okay, I shouldn't, well, hold on. Yeah, that's what I was gonna guess was the psychosis. Yeah, that actually brings up a great point too, where it's like, I recently reached out to one of our local hospitals that does like mental health stuff to see if I could be of service in some way there. Because yeah, one of the things that I learned through mine with my brother was just like how many people go through these things and they're like, they get told that they're the Messiah, and then all of a sudden they're like out here doing very drastic things. And I feel like, and that's the other thing too, is like my brother, I know he meant well, but he was basically like trying to tell me I'm crazy or it's not reality or whatever else. And it's like that language or that dismissal of it does not help. That does not make you any more, like, that does not ground you. That does not bring you back to your body, does not bring you back to the present moment. If anything, it just makes you feel more defensive. And that's why I've been thinking about trying to, like, go into these mental hospitals in some capacity and sit with the people that might be going through similar things, because it's like, you're not crazy. You just need a little help grounding. Like, it's okay. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. So we'll see if they respond or not. Okay. Let's see. Do I need to change this? Yeah, let me pop us back over to here. And let me we can pop in and do some readings. It's even gone. Oh, there it is. Okay. That works. All right. I'm just checking in with, see what kind of offerings coming forward for you, invisible audience, today. Okay. It feels like an oracle card. Or maybe cards, but my oracle deck. You're welcome. Thanks for popping in, Telepath Matt. Welcome to the chat. I'm sure I have more details and things that can come out, but that's the gist of how it went. All right. Invisible audience. I'm using, just so you know, too, I use the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck. Okay. Let me tip this down a little bit. Yes, they do. All right. Whatever's in the highest and best for invisible audience. Ooh, I caught that one. That feels like that needs to come out. Ooh. Are there any more? Yes. Is that good? Okay. All right. So, yeah, we'll go. You got a bunch of cards. We got 5, and we'll read this first one that popped up. So, Benefactor, Grace and Generosity. Hold on. Let me look at it real quick. I'm just getting a lot of, like, here we go. I first feel like I need to highlight the number 3 if you're into numerology. If not, but 3 is a very divine number. You can think of the Holy Trinity. The Holy Trinity, it doesn't necessarily mean Father, Son, Holy Spirit. It could mean higher self, ego self, source is typically how it comes through for me. But I'm really just drawn to, like, the lighthearted, giggly, snuggly nature of this card. And it just feels like it just feels like a reminder to, like, let that sweet self out, let that Yeah, let your soft side come forward. I'm just checking in to see if there's anything else. You've been trying to manifest a relationship. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. There's this like king energy of like, I got you. I'll take care of you, and like creating a safe space for whoever's coming in to snuggle up close, to feel safe, to feel warm. Yeah, it's you. Look at you. So cute. The next one that showed up upright is Feast of Plenty, Choices and Their Consequences. And I felt some resistance whenever I said consequences, but I think they're wanting to highlight that a reminder that consequences don't always mean bad things. Every choice, every action has a reaction, and that consequence doesn't necessarily mean it's like harm is coming your way. Also coming up to the number 20, 202's union, zero's new beginning. And I'm being really drawn to the bee and that light in that area of the card as well. I don't think there's more for me to point out on this card or come through, but I just felt like I needed to point out the bee and whatever that might mean for you and that light. And then we had 3 others pop out, so let's see. Woodwives, Adaptability. I haven't seen this card yet. Hold on. You were told to look for a bee. Ah, amazing. Yeah, this card coming through, really what I'm seeing or like being drawn to is like the halo effect around the like the head. And then this light, the touching of the light, the playing with the light down on the side over here. And I don't think I meant to share more there. I think this is more for you to interpret, but I just needed to highlight the halo effect around the head and then the hand and the light. Possibility for union. Look at you go. Hold on, let me just let me see if there's more to this card other than just the cheeky like, we hear ya. No, this feels like it's just a cheeky, we hear ya, it's coming. Like, I do feel, I always get drawn to this part when this card comes up. And so I do feel like there is this big step of sorts, or it might feel like a big step of sorts that you might have to take that will feel uncomfortable or nerve-wracking, but once you make that step, all the rest of the steps afterwards will feel easier. And as I say that, I kind of go back to that softness where it's like maybe that big step for you is letting your guard down and allowing yourself to embrace that king energy and allowing yourself to welcome in and be vulnerable and show not only the strength of the king, but also the authenticity and softness of the king. But when you do, she's there, or they're there. I shouldn't make assumptions, but they'll be there. And then the last one is whale song resonating. Fair enough, fair enough. Glad you explored the waters. Found out what you like. Yeah, I'm just letting this card be in this space for a second. I get it. Same, except for reversed. Well, I do like women, but I married a man, so here we are. No, I don't think I'm meant to share much here. So I think I'm just holding this one for you. I will say whales are loyal creatures. Family creatures. Majestic creatures, strong creatures, big creatures. Okay. I think that wraps it up. Whales are awesome. I have a healthy respect for whales. They show up in my dreams a lot, but I definitely think if I saw one like up close in real life, I'd be like, "Wow, you're a big mammal." But anyway, ooh, you get dolphins. That's cool. You're welcome, friend. Thank you for tuning in. These were here. I guess I'll fan them out for you. I'll attempt to anyway. Maybe. I don't know. There you go. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for receiving today. I send your energy back to you. Call my energy back to me. Sending you love and light in your community, your country, and your world. Love and light. I appreciate you too. All right. Janine Lilly, are you still here, my dear? Perfect. All right, I'm feeling a tarot card come through for you. So let's see what might need to be released. All right. Whatever is in the highest and best for Janine Lilly. Okay. So we got 4 popped out. All right. First things first. I'm the realist. Just kidding. All right. 7 of Swords. Hold it up over here. Highest and best for Janine Lilly. Yeah, I need to highlight that it is reversed. I held it up in the position that it popped out in. So this one is reversed. It is upside down. The sword is either in the 5th position or the 3rd position, depending on what side you're coming in from. And so I feel like I need to highlight those specific numbers or values. And it feels like there's a union or couple underneath it, and it feels like there feels like there's some sadness here. There feels like there's like a sword has been removed. I don't know if the connection has totally been broken, but it feels like there's it feels like a tearing away. So this is feeling like there's some heartache. And to be honest, this also has reminded me of when I went through my Kundalini awakening. I went through some pretty big heartache or heartbreak, and that was the kind of the catalyst. Yeah. I'm just giving you a second. I think there's more here, but it is referring to you. Okay. I think you got from this card what you were meant to. So I'm going to go to the next one. So this one is upright. This is the Queen of Wands. This is a beautiful card. You've been dealing with increased thoughts about your ex these last 2 days. Yeah. This card is feeling very from like the phoenix rising, like from the ground I will rise. Like this is giving very powerful Empress energy, very powerful from the ashes I will rise. That's the phrase. Yeah, this is interesting since you were here earlier too. I'll keep reading the cards, but I'm feeling like you might be about to have your Kundalini awakening. And if not, I don't know. That's just, or maybe whenever I say Kundalini awakening, it might be helping you prepare for it. It's like starting to come into your space. Page of Wands was this next one, also reversed. Yeah, and this I'm immediately hearing like the dark night of the soul, or like going into the shadow self. Because you gotta go into the shadow. You gotta go into your darkness to come out and be reborn into the light. And the final card that popped up was 6 of Wands, also reversed. And really, this is just giving me like I immediately start hearing like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And it's like my life got turned upside down. Like like that's the song that came. I don't know if you're familiar with that show or song, but it's just like that. It's definitely like life is changing. Things are about to flip if they haven't already, but it's yeah. Okay, that's all right. Maybe it's like, can I put it on the stream? No, I'll probably get muted if I put it on. But anyways, it's definitely the sentiment of your life getting turned upside down. Yeah. I do save mods though, or VODs though. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep doing it or not, because I do put them on. I end up putting on YouTube. You know, gotta make that content. Yeah. But yeah, Janine Lilly, it feels like there was a reason you were here today. It feels like the conversation coming into the space this morning was for a reason. You said you've been feeling it lately, though, about my life having turned upside down. Yeah. I can't tell you when it's going to happen. I can just tell you that right now, like, the sense that I'm getting is, and with with our conversation earlier, it feels like it's prep work for you, or it could potentially be prep work. Whether or not you don't think you're spiritually attuned to have a Kundalini awakening, maybe not yet. But like I said with mine, like, this was my journey. Doesn't mean it's going to be everyone's, but I started getting hints of it coming about 3 months before it came. I don't know that 3 months is going to be the exact same length of time for you, but is like they might be starting to lay that groundwork for you, that your life's getting turned upside down. There might be a big heartbreak coming if you haven't already had one, but in going through that dark night of the soul, connecting with your shadow, connecting with whatever it is that you've been through, like, you will rise. You will rise. There's just a little bit more. There's some more craziness in the energy. Yeah. As you start to wake up, as you start to open up, there's definitely moments of intense energy. I will not sugarcoat it. But you can get through it. You're strong enough to get through it. You have the resources to get through it. And I'm always a resource as well. So, are we looking at more incoming heartbreak? Yeah. The answer here is yeah. But you're never alone. And you get to learn through this process as well. I'm kind of nervous hearing that. Yeah, I'll share a little bit, because I feel like it's coming. It feels right to come into this space. Before I had mine, I kept getting a message in dreams that my husband was going to die. And so I was like, that was the visualization that I kept getting, even though I knew that I have a boundary around not predicting death. Even though I had that boundary, I still kept, like, I just couldn't shake the feeling that he was going to die. And that led to me that ultimately led to me, like, leaving, because I got to the point where I was like, oh, he's actually not going to die. It's me. The symbolism is me leaving and then getting a more divine union, because that was what I was being shown. And so I did. I that's why I said when I went through my Kundalini awakening, it was heartbreak, or I was going through a lot of heartbreak, and I was living alone. It's because I had left with the intention to leave permanently. But I went through my awakening, regrounded myself, and then he thankfully was willing to take me back as we, like, worked through the shit that we had to work through and the role that I played in the relationship. Hello. But like I said, we're on the other side of it. We just renewed our vows. There's been beautiful things happening over here for us. And so I share that to say that yes, a Kundalini awakening often is kind of kickstarted by some deep grief. But you can come out the other side and you can live a happy life, and things can change for the better and for the beautiful. And there are resources available to support you through it. And there are resources and people that have been through it that can help guide as well. So you're not, while your specific journey is for you and you alone, you're not alone in walking the path of waking up. And it will only come when you're ready. Like, if you hear all of this and you're like, nope, actually, I don't want any of that, don't sign me up, goodbye, tarot, goodbye, Lady Lighthouse. It's not, like, it won't. They'll hold off. Like, they're not gonna wake you up unless you consent to waking up. Yeah, so I get that. A Kundalini awakening, from my experience and my perspective, is, hold on, how do I want to phrase this? So I think to talk about a Kundalini awakening, I should talk about a spiritual awakening first. A spiritual awakening, like, you go through many spiritual awakenings as you're healing, as you're growing, as you're waking up. And those can be, they're gentler sensations, they're less intense, and they don't last as long, as you're gaining new knowledge, new wisdom, unlocking your gifts. And so you'll have probably many spiritual awakenings over your life as you're growing and healing. The Kundalini awakening is more from my perspective, is more of a abrupt. It's like an abrupt energetic experience that, like, it feels like more of like an full body energetic nervous system, like, reset. And it feels like, I think that's why my spine, I mean, they say the Kundalini is like symbolized with a snake and like travels up the spine. But really, or like for me and how I feel it come through is like if you are a womb haver, your womb is your creation. Your womb is your portal to creation. Your womb is connected to divine source. And so when you have that Kundalini awakening, it's like that creation energy, like going all the way up your spine and all the way up and out. And so that's when you become like fully like tapped in to source, to beyond. Like, I can't speak for other people's experiences. I know when I went through mine, I had, like I said, I had the big like back pain for a little bit, or just like the day it was happening. And it was like a little sore like the following day. But the almost psychedelic like experiences that I had were, I mean, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't smoke anything, like, but it was profound. I mean, there was a moment there where I thought I was about to actively jump timelines. Can I say I just came across this term a couple weeks back when I saw a video on YouTube about another woman experiencing Kundalini awakening. And that's the second time. Yeah. Like I said, that to me also like points to they might be prepping you. And again, if you don't want it, if you explore it and you're like, actually, I don't want to wake up. I'm good to live this human life as a human and not connect. You can choose not to. You can choose to be like, I'm done, I'm out, I don't want that. And they respect that. They're not going to wake you up without your consent. Good morning, Beyond Beautiful. I am doing readings, yeah. You can join if you'd like. Or join the queue. Janine, what am I supposed to do with it? Like, any messages coming through? Are you talking about, like, what am I supposed to do with this information about a Kundalini awakening coming through? Beyond Beautiful, you put the exclamation point join in chat. This is how my readings typically work. And then here is the consent statement too, just so you know. What if it actually happens for real? Like, what am I supposed to do after that? You decide. You get to decide how you live your life. So you can have a Kundalini awakening and you can go on and maybe they'll share your life purpose with it, and you'll, pick up the mantle and be like, hell yeah, let's do it. And maybe you'll get the message and you'll be like, I don't want any part of that. And then you can, keep going on with life as is. Like, I will say from most of the stuff, most of the stuff that I have read and experienced in my own, it's like once you have a Kundalini awakening, like you don't Like, you don't want to go back to the way life was before when you realize, like, how much is there. Thank you, Sextile, for sharing. Yeah. Janine Lily, I'm going to send all your energy back to you now, call my energy back to me. And I'm sending you so much love and light in your community, your country, and your world, so much love and light. Like, it's going to be okay. You're supported. You don't have to make any decision right now, and nothing will happen without your consent. So they might be starting to share this message with you to, like I said, to get it in your awareness. And if it's something that you're like, okay, yeah, I'm ready for it, I can do it, then they probably still won't do it right when you say you're ready, to be honest. Because I definitely was like, I'm ready, is now the moment? And no, it wasn't until I had forgotten about it and was deep in heartbreak that they were like, boom, here you go. So yeah, I remember when I heard Source's like voice for the first time, and I was like, God, what? It was a good time. But you're not crazy, and you're so supported. You can always come back here. I got you. All right. Let's go on. Okay, feels like an oracle card's coming through for you, Sextile. So let's see. Yeah, that's exactly what you can do, Janine Lily. I have, I know on my, hold on, actually, do I have it? Give me just a second. That's okay. Let me find this article real quick while you navigate your brother. Yeah, and here's, if this interests you any too, Janine Lily. Oh gosh. New computer, trying to figure it out. Nope, that is not what I wanted to copy or paste. Here's a little bit more about, you're good. So the link that I just posted, that's a little bit more of another experience I had not too long after I had my Kundalini awakening, that talks about, like, you know, some more experience, or another experience I had about, like, meeting the universal consciousness, or like just seeing everything. And I also have a little blurb of, like, what's a Kundalini awakening and how is it different. So yeah, with a nice little chart in there. I love a good chart. But that has, like, the levels of consciousness chart on it, so that can help you just kind of get an idea of where you are, because I know that helped me in figuring out what was happening. Okay. Are you back, Sextile? You ready? Okay. That's all right. He was annoying you so that way I could make sure I got the link to Janine Lily. So thank you to him. All right. Whatever's in the highest and best for Sextile. I think we got them all. All right. Oh, you also got this card. Benefactor, grace and generosity. Just whatever's in the highest and best for sextile. I'm being really drawn in this one. There's like, I don't know, this little mouse on the mushroom is holding something in his hand, and I don't quite know what it is, but I just feel it almost feels like a microphone. Like, I know it's not in this image, but the sensation is just like you holding them and the camera does not focus, I believe. You can do it, camera. You got this. All right, well, I'll just keep talking and it will eventually... There, see? Okay. I get the... I get the sensation of, like, you talking, you sharing something about whether it's your story. I know, you love that. But you sharing and speaking your truth is a form of your grace and generosity. And then I'm being pulled to the number 3 as well, with, again, that Holy Trinity, whether it's source, higher self, ego self, or survival mind, magical mind, spirit, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, whatever you want to use for the Holy Trinity, those all mean the same thing. I said, OMG, really public speaking. Oh, a friend group setting? ? I don't quite know what that last sentence is meant to be. Okay. Give him just a moment. And while he does that, let me... If you're new here, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. And thank you for tuning in. Okay. All right. Are you ready to keep receiving? Spirit's testing you today. Okay. The next card that came forward was Drifter Experiencing Life as It Comes, and I think that's really funny, given the fact that you've just had 2 interruptions, one with a brother and one with your mom. Yeah, this one just feels like remind yourself to take a deep breath. And this feels like they got jokes with you this morning, where it's just like, it's like, haha, like, look at everyone, it's all right, just take a breath, just go with the flow, it is what it is, you can't control them. Then the other card that came was upside down, is Many Masks, the Authentic Self. I'm being highlighted the number 3 and the number 8. So again, 3 coming up with the Holy Trinity, but 8 is really bringing like balance. Or the other thing with 8 that I feel like I need to point out is if you turn it sideways, it's the infinity symbol, which is the Lamiska, which is also a very powerful healing symbol. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it might be something to investigate. And weave that into your daily practice, into your There's like a message around weaving that symbol into your life. The infinity symbol. Like I said, it's also called it's Lamiska, but it's like spelled like Lamiskate, I think. Oh, wonderful. I'm glad you already are. All right. Honestly, that was a very, very, very short, very easy reading for you. Nothing too big and dramatic, just, keep it simple. Go with the flow. Don't let the distractions frustrate you. And yeah, there's something about speaking up. Good knowledge, good prayer, good character. Oh, I love that. I'll write that down. Good knowledge, good prayer. I like it. Thank you. What distractions? Oh, your family. Oh, that's what you're trying to get. Public speaking or friend group setting for using your voice. No, it feels like speaking up with your family. Choosing a college. Well, good luck. Yeah, listen to your heart. Your parents also, I mean, I will say family has good feedback. So, take into advisement, but also you're starting to step into your own self. Yeah. I don't know what your financial situation is, but I really wanted to go whenever I went to school. I really wanted to go to a college up in New York because I was like, this is a great technical school. I have a degree in engineering, but I was like, they have a great program. I got a scholarship to go there, but it was for out of state. Like it wouldn't have covered half of my tuition. Whereas my in-state school that I ended up going to, I got a full ride. And there is some amount of think about your financial future. And this is me sharing, not necessarily the cards, but oh, nice. I see the deleted message. It's fine. I'll adjust that. But yeah, I went to an in-state school because I ended up getting a full ride, and so it was just like the financial weight being lifted to be, and I also applied for other scholarships, so like I got paid to go to school instead of paying to go to college. That's okay, DFX Hot. Sorry we couldn't get to you today, but I'll see you again soon. Have a great rest of your day. But being paid to go to school was pretty nice. And to come out of school or come out of undergrad with no loans for school, great. So those are just some words of wisdom or thoughts put out there for you, Sextile, to determine what you might want to do. There's definitely benefits and drawbacks for each, but if you're familiar, I don't know if you did any like high school Project Lead the Way courses for engineering or anything, you can always do a decision matrix. And then you're like, look, mom and dad, here's the decision matrix. The numbers don't lie. I need to go to this school. Ah, okay. Well, anyways, I'm assuming, okay, they probably don't have a Project Lead the Way in India, but you can Google a decision matrix. And it, oh, hold on. Yep. Thank you for reading the post, Janine Lily. I look forward to seeing how it develops for you. But yeah, so a decision matrix is basically, like I said, you can Google it, but it's like you put down your different things that you're trying to figure out, and then you have like different criteria of like what you want to rank it on, and then you use a scoring system. You can do like 1 to 5, 1 to 10, 1 to 7, whatever feels right for you, and you rank each spot or like each decision, so each college based on, if like proximity to home, is it close? Do you want it to be close? Like, yes, I'm giving it a 5 of like, yeah, I want it to be close, or no, it's like close to home and I don't want it to be close, or I don't want to be close, so give it a 1 or whatever. Whatever you want, but you go and you rank each thing, and then you total it, and then at the end it's like, all right, this is the school that gives you the highest score on your decision matrix. Enjoy. Good luck. All right. I'm going to send all your energy back to you, Sextile. Call my energy back to me. Thank you for showing up here today in this space, for your time, your energy, and your gifts. And I send you, your loved ones, your community, your country, and your world so much love and light. Namaste. You're welcome. All right, Beyond Beautiful, are you still here? If not, we might call it a day for today and come back tomorrow. But I don't see them in the chat. I'm glad you're giggly. I'm glad you've received some loving energy and some joy being in this space today. Okay. It doesn't feel like, or doesn't look like Beyond Beautiful's here, and so I think I'm actually gonna call it a day. Go get myself some lunch and upload some content. I appreciate everyone for showing up today and chatting and being open. Yeah, okay. I'll hold on for one moment. You don't want to share this one thing? Alright, I'm gonna close this. Okay, I'll wait. I'll wait a minute. Do a little dance while I wait. Ba ba da ba 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 da na 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 da 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 na 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 na. Keeping us all in suspense. It's good. It's fun. Okay. You're reading about this person and what they feel for another person. You got this blooming feeling in your chest that you've never experienced before. You were just so excited like never before, and it was so cute, and your mood picked up. Such a cute share. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that into this space. Yeah. Yeah. I don't have any more feedback on that other than that's cute. And thank you for sharing. All right, my loves. Goodbye now. I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are, whatever time of day it is for you, whenever you tune in or tuned in. So I'm grateful for each and every one of you, and I'll see you again soon. If you're new, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Bye.